Greetings programs, NeoMegaMan back again for episode 12 of Let's Play Katawa Shoujo Rin's Path. Well, last time we ended on kind of a downer note, didn't we? Let's see if things you can't give up helps us get over that. The next Monday is marked by a strange emptiness that grips me, caused by the knowledge that I won't be able to see Rin whenever I want to anymore. This hollow feeling's a little bit disconcerting, but I make it to the afternoon all the same. My last class is, in a word, terrible. It's not that the lesson is that bad, it is however boring, and it's so hot in the classroom that I feel like I'm melting. The air conditioning is either broken or turned off, so the windows are open. It makes no difference since the air outside is completely still, only the chirping of the cicadas carries inside. The sweltering heat permeates the room. Students and teachers alike are in an almost delirious state. I just want to stand up and walk out of here without caring what the teacher or anyone else says. I can see I'm not the only one with these thoughts, too. Next to me, Misha is shamelessly holding up her skirt a bit and fanning air in with her notebook. Only Shizune seems to be as cool as always, sitting with her back perfectly straight, arms folded on her chest, her eyes fixed on the equations scrawled on the blackboard. I keep shooting yearning glances at my watch, but it doesn't help the time go by any faster. It's funny, I remember how badly I wanted to get out of the hospital and go back to school. Now all I could think of is the upcoming summer vacation, freedom from classes and homework. Perhaps it's human nature to think only of the situation at hand. Finally, the bell rings. Relieved, my classmates and I burst out into the hallway already crowded by students from our neighboring classes. I spot Emmy's diminutive figure nearby and walk up to her. Hey there. She smiles sweetly, clearly happy to see me. Isao! What's up? Is your classroom super hot too? Yeah, it is. I thought we were gonna melt in there. Nothing else is really happening though. Feeling a bit weird now that Rin's on her great adventure or whatever you want to call it. Emmy's face cracks in a wider smile and she jumps up and down enthusiastically. Isn't it great? I'm so happy for her. I bet everyone will like her paintings and she'll sell a lot of them and make piles of money. Yeah, I'm sure it'll work out great. I'm totally sulking at her though. She huffs angrily and places her hands firmly on her hips, even letting a little anger seep into her voice. Doesn't quite have the impact she's hoping for, but I say nothing anyway. Why's that? She said that she doesn't want me to go see her. Oh yeah, she mentioned that. I guess she prefers not to be distracted. I can understand that. I don't think I'm that much of a distraction. Besides, I'm sure she'll forget all about sleeping and eating properly if someone's not there telling her to do it. Sometimes she's like that, gets completely fixated on whatever and drops everything else. It really makes me worried, you know? Is she gonna be alright? Such friendship. I wonder if she thinks I'm annoying. I'm pretty sure that's not the case at all. And he shakes her head, looking amused. I'm not sure if she's joking or not. She has these weird ideas about a lot of stuff. They just make sense to her in a totally different way than they do to me. I can't even remember all the weird stuff she's talked about all over this time. I don't think Rin does either, really. She's the type who'd forget her own head if it wasn't attached to her shoulders. That's why I just can't leave her alone. Is that weird? She leans against the wall, managing to look distraught yet still cheerful as always. I get a strange feeling about it, as though I was talking to two people at the same time. How would I know? Everyone's weird in some way, but if that's yours, it's a very nice way. At least I can understand what you're talking about, unlike Rin. Most of the time, I have no idea what's going on inside her head either. And he giggles, nodding in agreement. I think it's okay even if you don't understand her. That's how she usually is. He stands up straighter, brushing the hem of her skirt and straightening the waistline. She laughs awkwardly. Wow, we ended up talking pretty seriously. What's up with you, Hisa? Why'd you bring this up? Oh, sorry. I didn't really mean to get in this sort of discussion either. I don't know. I've had this weird feeling lately about Rin. I don't know why. I feel a bit guilty bringing up something like this for no reason except my own anxiety. It'll be fine, don't worry about it. Suddenly, Amy clutches my wrist and twists it so she can see what time it is from my watch. Oh damn, this late already? I should really go. There's a meeting with the rest of the track team at the field. It's not going to be fun in this heat. We're going to sweat like pigs, but I promised I'd be there. Bye-bye. She skips downstairs, leaving me wondering if what I said, or what Rin said, rather, hurt her or not. Maybe what Amy said herself hurt her the most, come to that. So in the end, even the person closest to Rin is just as far apart from her as everyone else. I wonder if Rin herself ever feels that distance. I felt like I was drifting away from the world too during my hospitalization. I was anxious and depressed, and even now I sometimes still do. But I fight against it with all I've got. If Rin has been on that side of the divide for her whole life, I can't imagine how she could not be lonely. But perhaps she's truly different. I refuse to belong to that other place, but maybe she's found comfort there. As I walk through the hall that afternoon, I glance at my watch. It's almost 4:30. I would normally have a club meeting to attend, but I don't feel like going to the art club at all, so I start heading the opposite way. It feels like a poorly chosen decision. I know that if I skip club once, I'm going to skip it again and again. This is probably it for me in the art club. Is this what I think it is? But, alright. It's been bubbling beneath the surface for a while now, though. I guess I'll formally quit later. I keep watching the bland linoleum floor while I walk without a direction. This leads me, perhaps unconsciously, to the school library. It's almost empty and completely quiet. A few studious first years are sitting at the tables joining efforts to get homework done before dinner time. Yuko is hard at work today too. She's methodically going through a towering stack of books sitting on her desk, checking them one by one and placing them onto a cart beside her. I greet her as I stop by. Good afternoon. I haven't seen you in here for a while. Did you read all the books already? She seems to be in a good mood. I don't think so. I joined the art club, so I've been passing the time there instead of working my way through your collection. I think I'm going to quit, though, so I guess you'll be seeing more of me again from now on. You didn't like the club? Honestly, I don't know. I don't have much of a talent for art, but I didn't hate doing it either. I guess it just feels a bit pointless. I can't really see any purpose in going. The art teacher scares me a little. Really? He seems like a really nice guy. Maybe a bit over the top sometimes. Yuko makes a face I can't read, but doesn't say anything further. How are you doing? Something good happened to me today. I didn't flunk my university course. Well, that's great, isn't it? Yes, without the credit I might have been kicked out, and then I'd have a lot of explaining to do to my family. I'm really lucky. I think I'm going to buy pudding today to celebrate. Being a university student sounds hard. I'm surprised you're working 2 jobs while still attending. My part-time work really makes it hard to keep up with my studies, and I get yelled at by my student counselor. And then if I stay up late studying, I get sleepy at work and my boss yells at me. But if I quit my jobs, I'll starve. It's like I just can't win. I wonder why it's like that. I don't really know what to say. Yuko isn't really complaining to get empathy out of a guy a lot younger than her. She's basically just talking about the facts of her everyday life. Makes me feel even more pity for her somehow. Wow, must be hard for you. I don't know. It's been like this for so long that I've forgotten what it's like to have a normal life. Or maybe this is already a normal life for my age. Is this normal? It is, right? It must be. Why is being so normal so depressing? I couldn't say. Not like being abnormal is much different, though. Oh, I didn't mean it like that. Sorry. I just got carried away. It's fine. It was a joke, sort of. Anyway, you seem to be doing fine just now. Yeah, when I feel really down, I take a step back and make a cup of tea. And when I've drunk the tea, I give my mood a kick in the butt, like wham! And then I tell myself, now you're gonna do this thing, Yuko, and then I go get it done. That's why I'm working so hard now. She clenches her fists dramatically at the high point of her spirited explanation. It's a bit unclear what she actually means, but it's nice that she's so motivated. Leaving Yuko alone with her work, I head back to the back of the library where the novels are. I briefly considered reading something non-fiction for a change. Maybe a biography, perhaps? But in the end I decide against it. My fingers trace the spines along the rows upon rows of novels. They occasionally pull out a random book so I can read the back and maybe sample the first 2 or 3 pages. Nothing really catches my interest, so I end up picking up a book I'd already read back in March or so at the hospital. I recall liking it. I sit down on one of the beanbag chairs and quickly get sucked into the book, turning pages at a rapid pace. I'm probably not the fastest reader around, but pretty fast all the same. Reading quickly makes me feel oddly satisfied. Focusing on reading is something I'm pretty good at, too. I can cram study pretty efficiently as well, as long as I stay motivated. It's a secret of my good grades, though I'm pretty diligent in class, too. That's what Rin and I have in common. She can really focus on painting if she wants to. I wonder what she's doing now. Probably hard at work painting. This distance that suddenly grew between us irritates me. I thought that we were getting closer, but now that feeling's been lost. I'm a bit worried about her, too. I can't make sense of my own thoughts. Okay. This is an important decision, Gate. Yeah. Okay, so let me just... Yeah, from Badan, you have one of 2 choices, one of which will give you a quote-unquote support flag. That's what you want, because the support flag gives you some unique scenes later that I'll be going for. And this is going to prove to be somewhat interesting later on. So, I can't leave her alone either. I share Emmy's sentiment of being worried about Rin. She's the type who might get so caught up in her own strange world and get lost there before she knows it. It's not that I feel like being some kind of white knight who could save Rin from herself. She doesn't need saving. But I just can't leave her alone either. If I want to keep what I have with Rin going, I have to get involved with making this exhibition happen, right at her side. I realize I've been sitting on the same page for a while now. I turn my gaze back to the book I'm reading. The jungle of glyphs has somehow turned into a near incomprehensible cipher. I stare hard at it, expecting the text to start making sense to me. No pattern emerges. Nothing that could take me any further than I am. Dazed, I close the book, put it back on the shelf, then sit back down, and think honestly and hard about what I really want. Well, that was important. The next day, I take the bus into the city. It goes twice an hour starting in the morning, passing by the front gate of Imaku at 20 minutes past and 10 to the hour. The ride takes considerably longer than the one Nomiya gave us in his car. I slowly read a book as the bus makes its rounds through the suburbs, pausing at almost every stop to pick up someone or let them out. Eventually, we make it to the last stop at the city center. The city's fair size, but not too large. It seems too quiet. Nevertheless, I enjoy the atmosphere. Despite being slightly directionally challenged, I find my way from the bus station to the gallery without too much effort, and soon find myself staring at the big letters saying 22nd Corner. Inside, the gallery owner is intently studying a large painting hanging on a wall, and a portrait of an old man. Good afternoon. She turns around to look at me, and a smile of recognition spreads on her lips. Oh, aren't you the young man from the other day? Shinichi's student. Hisao, was it? That's right. Good afternoon, Miss Saionji. Please, just Sae. I don't want to feel any older than I am. You know, I'm so glad that even young people show interest in art nowadays. It's so refreshing. What brings you here? Surely you aren't just on a courtesy visit all the way from your school. I actually came for Rin. I was hoping to see how she's doing. Oh, is that right? Well, then you need to step back outside. You see, the atelier is actually at the next door on the right down the street, and up the stairwell. Just climb the stairs to the top floor. There's only one door there, so you can't miss it. I give Sae my thanks, exit the gallery, and locate the door she was talking about. It leads to a dark stairwell, which reminds me of the stairs leading to the roof on the school building. How very similar. The stairs are steep, and even though it's only 5 floors, my breathing gets heavy before I reach the top. An unassuming wooden door waits for me there. It's unlocked, so I knock and enter. The atelier is really just one big room, with the ceiling lower at one end than the other because the roof of the building is gabled. There's a huge skylight in the ceiling that acts as the main source of light for the room, bringing in sunlight that reflects off the white painted walls. I suppose it's good to use natural light for art. There isn't much in the way of interior decoration. No surprise, since the room seems to have been used as storage for a while. All kinds of boxes and office furniture are scattered around the place. The room is dusty since it's not been in use for a while. I can see that someone has made some effort to clean it up a little, but it's far from immaculate. Rin stands in the middle of the room with her back to me, staring at a half-painted canvas placed on an easel. Not working on it, just staring, unmoving. She wears what must be second or third hand denim overalls over the standard school uniform shirt, much like the one that I'm wearing. They look pretty worn and are covered in paint spatters. From the way they seem to be loose or tight in places, I'm guessing they weren't originally Rin's. Hi. Hello. Rin doesn't judge my showing up as worthy of turning around, saying maybe something more than just a mechanical reply to my greeting, smiling, anything. She just keeps on doing whatever it is she's doing, probably some weird creative thing inside her head. Perhaps I should have expected as much. Still, I make another attempt at conversation. This is a pretty cool place. Big, too. It is. Sae said I can use this as much as I like. I even have my own key. So how's the work going? She doesn't answer for a while. I begin to wonder if she's already forgotten the question. As a cloud drifts over the building, shadowing the light pouring in from the skylight, the change in Rin's surroundings seems to wake her up. I don't know. It's like a huge ball. I don't really know which side is the right one. It's really huge. It's the hugest thing ever. Like a mountain growing inside of me. Like I swallowed a mountain whole. It's gonna be hard, I think. Really very hard. I try and listen for undercurrents of stress or uncertainty in her voice, but I don't pick up anything like that. Why are you here? Her tone is not as unkind as the directness of the question would make it seem. Well, you said that it'd be fine if I came to visit, so here I am. I guess it's not for any real reason, but I thought you might like some company or assistance or maybe some peace out. Can you be quiet for about 15 minutes? Maybe 10 is enough. 5 is definitely not. You can talk afterwards. Her tone is sharp. Nothing like I've ever heard from her before. There's no command, no annoyance, no anger, but her voice pierces me all the same. All right. With the silence that falls, anxiety creeps back into my heart. I wonder if it was a mistake to come here. Murmurs of traffic filter in from outside, and I start to feel more and more uncomfortable. All my thoughts keep finding themselves returning to certain things that have been swirling relentlessly in the back of my mind for some time now. I feel like those thoughts will surface out of the tempestuous sea of my mind, whether I want it or not. Desperate to divert my focus, I fixate on Rin's back as my mind races. I don't think I've ever studied someone's back so intently before. Her neck, hidden by copper-colored hair, which is again in complete disarray. That relaxed yet rigid posture reminded me that Rin's physical appearance often tends to be as awkward as her various trains of thought. Those gaunt, delicate shoulder blades visible through the white fabric of her shirt. The contours of her hips curving down to her thin thighs. Pisses me off. Rarely does she ever seem to be looking at me, whether literally or figuratively. I, on the other hand, am always watching her back, both literally and figuratively. Whenever she's painting, whenever something catches her fluttery attention, whenever I don't forcefully make her listen to me, I can't reach through to her. Rin's heart is uncharted territory, dangerous waters, the blank areas on the map. The edge of the world? If I went too close, I wonder if I would fall off. That's what this point is called, by the way, the edge of the world. What do I think of her? Sometimes she's aloof and distant, and it annoys me. At other times, her passion for the things she thinks worthwhile shines through and inspires me. I can't understand her. Still, I like her and consider her my friend. I suppose part of friendship is putting up with the oddities of the people you call friends. I have to admit, there's a lot of putting up with Rin. What does she think of me? I have no idea. Last week I thought she might have liked me romantically, what with the kiss and all. It forced me to ponder my own feelings too. This week I'm utterly confused. What would she do if I told her I liked her that way? I wonder if I really do. Damn, I can't make sense of even my own thoughts anymore. Must be contagious. Even if I said a thing like that, would it matter? Nothing affects Rin. Nothing. I'm done. I find her turned around, now staring straight at me. It unnerves me. I try to remember what we, or rather I, were talking about before she requested a timeout. Oh, right. I just came to... I don't know. You still can't finish your sentences? It's not that. Fine. She retreats from the conversation, slipping away from me once again. She doesn't return to painting, but instead keeps looking at me with that empty poker face of hers. I wanted to talk about some stuff. I've thought about a lot of things. What things? Like what happened last week and so on. What happened? I get the feeling she's playing with me. Why, I have no clue. It's not a game she's playing with my head. I'm pretty sure she doesn't deliberately try to screw with people. Maybe it's just my own mind playing tricks on itself. Still, Rin feels like a puzzle in the form of a girl. I feel attracted to it, compelled to solve it, the overly rational part of my brain refusing to let me give up. I can't leave her alone. I never would have believed I could be this obsessive about something. Why do I hesitate so much and keep running in circles around her? I don't have to do that. I already decided what I want to say. Rin. Saying her name with an intention like this makes my mouth dry, as if my subconscious is fighting against what I want to say next. I feel like I'm going to lock up any moment now. Rin looks up from her paint-covered toes and stops wriggling them, as there isn't anyone to observe them curiously now. The hard stare of her dark green eyes seems like a portent. I like you. The lack of any reaction is like a slap to the face. So, I mean, I'd like to like you as more than a friend. What is more? The slow, hesitant words coming from between her strawberry-colored lips are not the ones I was waiting for. Neither of the two possible answers that I'd been expecting, actually. I feel myself blushing heavily, as is par for the course in this kind of situation. My heartbeat sounds like a percussion orchestra on drugs. Rin's faux innocent inquiry feels like I'm being grilled over hot coals. You know, like romantically. No. Rin turns around, giving me the cold shoulder as she returns to looking at her painting. She makes a move to pick up her brush, which lies forgotten on the floor, but decides against it at the last moment. I can't talk about that kind of thing now. So, don't talk about that kind of thing, please. We are friends, right? So you can do that. The silence those words leave behind is deafening. I want to say something, but my mouth refuses to move. There's no way I can retain my dignity. Whoops. Rin finally picks up the brush without giving any explanation for her behavior. Maybe there was something in her voice that gave away some emotion, but I couldn't say what. Her shoulders slump melancholically as her foot works the canvas in front of her. She won't let me see her face, and I know it. Feeling the weight of my heart grow heavier, I stand up to leave. I can't stay here any longer today. It's like I've opened Pandora's box by stepping over some line that Rin didn't want me to cross, and she had to turn me down. I walk across the squeaky floor to the door leading to the stairwell. Rin's quiet voice stops me in my tracks as I'm about to open the door. Isao? My hand, still on the brass doorknob, is waiting for me to turn it or to withdraw. Yeah? Will you come tomorrow? Yeah. Yeah, I think we're going to call this one here, folks. Might be kind of shorter than usual, but I think we're about to get into some heavy stuff. God, I just can't seem to stop ending on these weird downer notes. Such a bad habit with Rin, I guess. But, so, that's all for part 12 of Let's Play Katawa Shoujo Rin's Path. Join us next time for part 13, where maybe we'll get some context as to what just happened. Knowing Rin, probably not. Hell, who knows what's going to happen in this next episode? I sure don't. Anyway, I'm your host, NeoMegaMan, signing out. End of line.